Hey, it's Props, back with another edition of the music review series. I know my hair is shit, I don't fucking care right now, to be fair. I'm on lockdown, so I don't fucking care what I look like, alright. Today we're doing the new KSI album, Dissimulation. This is the debut solo album from YouTuber, rapper, boxer, fucking whatever he fancies being today, person, KSI. I want to immediately start this review by saying that I like JJ. I enjoy his content, I have huge respect for the guy. Seems like a really awesome person who just knows how to play the YouTube game well. Specifically in his overly inflated ego on his YouTube channel, which does get a bit irritating, to be honest. It does get a bit fucking annoying. But I do feel like it is an intentional character portrayal, like especially after listening to him in podcasts and seeing how he is, like, normally. Seems like a really nice guy who just understands how to do this YouTube formula shit. Now, yes, I have made critique videos of him in the past, when I was making, commentary content. But I've always quite liked JJ ever since I started, like, watching YouTube properly back in 2012. And those videos of mine that I made before, I made them to get views, okay? The commentary community is fucking horrible. I was fucking horrible. Musically, though he's never been for me, the fact that he's been charting in the UK above, like, proper mainstream artists is fucking insane. It deserves nothing but respect. He's fucking inspirational, to be fair. I like the dude, and though I don't agree with him on many topics, the respect is still there. I guess I just want to make that clear before we head into this review, because YouTube has this fucking stupid mentality where if you criticize someone on any kind of level, that means you want them fucking dead or some shit. That isn't the case, okay? I like KSI. I like him. Anyway, enough rambling about the person behind the music. Let's actually talk about the music. Now, his previous record was a collaboration project with fellow YouTube rapper Randolph. For the most part, I didn't really care for it. I like how all of the songs are non-copyright, that's pretty fucking sick. But the main song that I like on that album is the one that JJ isn't even on. And that isn't specifically because JJ isn't on the song. I just think Roll the Dice has the best hook on the entire album. And also, Quadeca's verse was pretty fucking sick. But when we started getting singles from this record, it was clear we were going to start to see JJ do some stuff on his own. Or, on his own, there are a lot of features on this record. Which isn't a bad thing. But, you know, that's just a fact. As for the singles, I wasn't really a fan of them. Down Like That had a great hook from SX, but the verses were fucking horrible. Especially Little Babies. Jesus fucking Christ, that guy. What a terrible artist. What a terrible artist. Wake Up Call or the remix didn't really do anything for me. Trippie Redd has been on the downfall with his features as of late. Seriously. Poppin' was just... No. I understand that it's just a hype song, but, I mean, it's still fucking shit, okay? I don't care. Houdini was 100% the best single. In fact, it's probably the only song where I actually enjoyed JJ's verse more than the features. Except for Little Babies, of course. Since Tion Wayne did not do anything for me at all, I can't get down with his voice. And his lyrics were fucking awful. But the instrumental and the chorus was quite interesting. And I thought the accent that JJ was purposely putting on during his verse suited him more than his regular voice. I've never liked JJ's voice on any of his songs, so that's probably why I think this is the best song he's ever released, when he purposely changes up his voice. So when it came to the full album, I was quite interested to see if JJ was going to top this song. He didn't. First of all, okay, I should say that I do like the track Millions. I thought it was more open lyrically, which is something that I always admire when I hear music. If you're more open in the song, in the lyricism, then I'm very much down to be like, yeah, it's a good song. Oh, shut the fuck up. The instrumental was a bit bland, but I'll give him points here. This was a good song. But, I mean, the rest of the album is just either meh or straight up forgettable. The track Bad Little Vibe, which is a fucking terrible track title, first off, was somewhat instrumentally appealing, but, like, I'm really stretching on that one. This track was just downright average. I didn't dislike the feature on this track, Jeremiah, who misses the A in his name. That's fucking quirky. The feature on the song Killer Killer was great. I really enjoyed Ayanna Lee's voice. It's pity the rest of the song was just not for me. Yeah, the rest of this album was just highly forgettable. I remember JJ saying at one point before this album was released that we'll hear the KSI the entertainer and JJ the person on this album, as if they're both different people. Now, this is a thing he's been saying since his fucking 2017 breakdown. So when he said that, like, it wasn't very Whoa, that's fucking deep AF, bro. But when he refers to this album as having two different people on the same record, something that is kind of foreshadowed in the album cover, I was expecting this to be like a running theme on the album, but listening to this album in full, reading into like a lot of the lyrics, I don't really see it. Millions is definitely a different track. This is probably the song that he's trying to be JJ on. But this concept, outlined in the definition of the word dissimulation, something KSI puts emphasis on in the lead up to this record, was not very consistent at all. Rather, this album just covers a lot of old ground. How it is to be a YouTuber, how he gets loads of views and makes lots of money from that, and how he's great at having the coitus with women. I feel like we've heard JJ rap about this so much now that it's just getting fucking tiring. I was hoping this project would bring something new to the table, but rather I found that Millions was the only track that dared to push the boat out to sea, because everything here is just the same lyrical formula that JJ has been doing in the past. Every other song here just feels like a hype-up track, which is a type of music that I don't enjoy anyway, or like how he has sex and, you know, he's had relationships that didn't go particularly well. It wasn't a very eye-opening listen, let's be fair. I was truthfully getting quite bored when listening to this album, and it isn't even that long. It clocks in about 34 minutes, and somehow it manages to be very repetitive. Not to mention that the auto-tune littered throughout all of his vocals is awful. I know that many mainstream rappers do the same thing, but I fucking hate it when they do it, and I fucking hate it when JJ does it. It sounds fucking dreadful. I understand using auto-tune a little bit to make your vocals slightly more in tune, but when you're like rapping vocals that are like 5 notes off of the note you want, and then just shoving auto-tune on it, it's not going to sound fucking good. You'll sound like a deformed robot. And that's what he sounds like throughout the majority of this album. For the most part, I found this album to be thematically and lyrically bland. There was nothing here that really pricked my ears up as like an interesting concept or an aspect of the song that really interested me and got me invested. Rather, it just feels like KSI is just like stringing together a bunch of really cool one-liners, all of which hype him up or have some sort of referential humour to them. Just throw all of those on some generic trap beats and yep, we've got Dissimulation. And you know, I hate using the word generic because, to be fair, it's so fucking overused. Hype-up music will always end up being that way, and there are a few generic songs out there that I like. But, you know, I can't think of a better term that applies to this record more than generic. In fairness, this is clearly the intention. He is just trying to make a series of songs about his life experiences, so when he listens back to it, he can really think, holy shit, this is amazing on like a personal level. And a bunch of his hardcore fans will definitely enjoy this music as well, because they're very invested in his life. So they'll get something from this album, I understand that. In fact, many artists do that same thing. Any kid in their room writing rap lyrics thinks they're fucking sick, because what they're writing means a lot to them on a personal level. I've done the same fucking thing, lots of people have, but in my personal opinion, I didn't get much from this album. In conclusion, I think JJ has some pretty good flows in places. He can string together some interesting lines. Not that they have much correlation to each other, but, you know, interesting lines. And considering that he also does boxing and fitness and YouTube alongside of making this album, you can't deny that it's pretty impressive, to be fair. But overall, this record is nothing more than just a bunch of trap bangers about being a YouTuber, having lots of money, having sex, being in a relationship that's kind of falling apart, and waking up by a call. So for that reason, I'm gonna give this album a bad rating. But you know what? I fucking hope this album does very well. I hope it charts #1. I hope a bunch of these songs on the album get somewhere in the charts. Because JJ is a fucking YouTuber who smashed it not only on YouTube, but in so many areas like boxing, and now he's releasing a semi-competent album with a load of really mainstream features. Though I did not like this album, I do like KSI, and I do respect what he's managed to achieve here, to some degree. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Remember that I can't change your opinion. I would not want to anyways, and yeah. Peace out.